Ya, kembali lagi di plenary room untuk acara hari ini dari FMI. Selanjutnya adalah sesi 3. Kita akan memiliki pembicara dari NMA, Nepal Mountaineering Association. Tapi karena, of course, karena using English, jadi selanjutnya saya akan sedikit bilingual, tapi mungkin mostly in English. Tapi untuk pertanyaan, bisa both in English or Indonesia, feel free. Okay, now moving along to our session, we are going to have Mr. Jinesh Sindurakar from Nepal Mountaineering Association or NMI, who will be speaking to us on the topic of Himalayan mountain climbing regulation update. But before we got started, let me read a brief introduction of Mr. Jinesh in Bahasa, no, in English. So Mr. Jinesh Sindurakar, born on August 1st, 1975, holds a master's and bachelor's degree in business management from Tribhuvan University. He is the program director and chief administrative officer of the Nepal Mountaineering Association, and he is also a professional in the mountain climbing tourism sector with over 2 decades of experience. That's such a long time. And at the NMA, Mr. Jinesh plays a crucial role in formulating plans and programs for the development of mountain climbing tourism in Nepal, coordinating with the government and various national organizations. And he is also active in writing articles about the climbing environment, ecotourism, and tourism in prominent publications such as the Himalayan Times and New Business Age. And he is also frequently participates in organizing and attending international conferences and workshops, and has received various awards for his contributions to the tourism industry, including the recognition from the Golden Jubilee celebration of Mount Everest and significant expeditions in Nepal. That is a very short biography of Mr. Jinesh. Actually, he has a quite long CV. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now allow me to welcome Mr. Jinesh to present the material of Himalayan mountain climbing regulation update. So, Mr. Jinesh, once again, thank you very much for being here today. The floor is yours now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, madam. So, are you sharing my presentation, or what do I need to do?
Hold on, let me communicate with my team. Kakak-kakak admin, bahan PPT-nya dari kita. Okay. Yes, for most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, madam, for introducing me so beautifully. It is my great pleasure. It is my great pleasure for me to represent Nepal Mountaineering Association in this platform. Actually, our president, Mr. Nima Nuru Sherpa, was supposed to attend, but because of his some urgent task, so he asked me to represent in this meeting, and I will try my best to answer to give you the presentation about the Nepal Mountaineering Association and Nepalese Himalaya. So thank you once again. And so before I start, let me give you the short introduction of Nepal Mountaineering Association, with which I have been associated since 2004. So it was established in 1972, 1st November. And the founder members, I have mentioned five founder members in the Nepal Mountaineering Associations. So next. The basic objectives of the Nepal Mountaineering Association is to conserve is to create awareness about the Nepal mountain environment and preservation of the Nepalese mountain environment, and to produce to conduct the mountaineering trainings in order to produce the safe skilled manpower for the safe mountaineering tourism. And it has been also in its other main objectives is to carry out welfare programs for the children of the deceased mountaineers, the mountaineers who died on the mountaineering. So there is no one to take care of their children and the families at that time. In that condition, the Nepal Mountaineering Association managed some type of scholarship for the children of these mountaineers. And other objectives are to protect the mountain culture and the mountain heritage, and just to give sometimes some kinds of the training for the mountaineers also. Next, please. And yet it has been also involved in the sports climbing activities since 2004, 2007. And the Nepal Mountaineering Association also conducted different types of training. That is the basic mountaineering course, advanced mountaineering course, and it's also conduct the high mountain rescue training. And it also conduct the mountain guide training courses, that which is considered as one of the highest mountaineering courses. So in this way, Nepal, the major objective of Nepal Mountaineering Association is to involve in the mountain tourism, mountain environment, and to produce the safe skill manpower for the mountain tourism. And this is the building of the Nepal Mountaineering Association office. This is for the short introduction. Next, please. And one of the biggest project in Nepal mountaineering has the International Mountain Museum in Pokhara. It is at the west of the Kathmandu Valley, capital of the Nepal, Kathmandu, and it is one of the biggest mountain museum in the world, which covers the areas of 5.10 hectares. So it was officially opened on the 4th in 2004, February 5th, and it has been considered as one of the famous tourism product of the Pokhara city. So that the International Mountain Museum, the basic objectives of to construct International Mountain Museum in Pokhara is to showcase the historical achievement that is created in the field of mountaineering, and to showcase and to play artifacts of the culture of the mountain people. And so it also has the artifact and some type of activities that is related with the carried out related with the environment conservation, mountain to create about the mountain culture. So that the basic objective to construct International Mountain Museum are these. Next, please. And these are the photos of the International Mountain Museum, and it's outside the from outside the International Mountain. We have the model of the Manaslu model, and this is the inside picture of the International Mountain Museum. This is the main building of the International Mountain Museum, which looks like mountains. So so now the IMM is considered as one of the biggest tourism product of Nepal. Yes. And another that, as I mentioned earlier, that the basic objective of Nepal Mountaineering Association is to conduct the training activities. So we have been coordinating with Alpine Association of Slovenia to conduct mountaineering trainings in Nepal since 1979. And the Alpine Association of Slovenia also assisted us in building the school in Manang area, which was officially opened in 1979. And it is one of the first mountaineering training school in Nepal. And this Manang Mountaineering School is also the major property of Nepal Mountaineering Association. Yes, thanks. Next, please. And so the basic mountaineering association, which we conduct annually, is also conducted in Nepal Mountaineering Association. Yeah. So as concerned to the history of mountain tourism in Nepal, so the mountain tourism in Nepal is basically started when the Everest was climbed in 1953 on 29 May by Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. Earlier, the ascent of Mount Everest was also tried in 1921, 22, and 24 by the George Mallor and Andrew Irvine from the UK. But whether the expedition of the 1924 will succeeded or not, that is still mystery. But that's why we consider the expedition of 1953 as one of the first mountain expedition of Mountain Everest. And after that, the history of mountain tourism in Nepal started to write down. So approximately there are about 2,195 mountains in Nepal which are eligible for climbing, but that is also that figure is approximate only, not sure. But more than 2,000 mountains are found in Nepal, and among them now presently 405 mountains are officially open to climb climb in Nepal. And among the 405, we have 8,000-meter 14 mountains which are above 8,000 meter, and most of the among the 405, The 27 mountains are managed by Nepal Mountaineering Association, and rest of the mountains are managed by the Department of the Tourism. So in 2022, there are till 2022, 7,626 people have already climbed Mount Everest, and among them there were 519 women summiteers. Next, please. So some of the records which I have mentioned on the mentioned right now, there are lots of records being made in Everest annually, but some of the records I have mentioned only, like the Kamarita Sherpa, who has climbed Everest for 30 times. This year in the 24 also he climbed and made it ascend for the 30 times. And the Lakpa Sherpa, she has climbed mountains for 10 times. And first ready to climb Everest is the Junko Tabe from Japan. And and another Japanese, Ichiro Muro, who is 80 years, 224 days old, when he climbed every year Everest, and he is also considered as the biggest, as the oldest mountaineer in. And there was earthquake in 2015, so that also record I would like to mention that 22 people died on Everest in the earthquake of the 2015. Next please. So I have uploaded some photos of some major mountains in the presentation. Yes, that is called Mount Abi. Next, please. And this is the Singuchuli. This is for just in order to give you the refresh in some brief idea about the Nepalese mountains. Yes, these are all mountains which are managed by Nepal Mountaineering Association, which ranges from 5,800 meter to 6,500 meter. And one for your kind information, the mountains which are managed by the Nepal Mountaineering Association, so that we don't the mountaineers or the expedition group don't need to have liaison officer in Nepal. As per regulation, the mountains which are below the 6,500 meter, you don't need to have any right of liaison officer. You can just have the registered trekking company and guide and some porters or sherpas, then you can go for climbing. But above 6,500 meter, then you need to have liaison officer. Yes, next please. That is low peak, yeah. And these are some of the trainings which I mentioned earlier also. This basic mountaineering course, which is conducted for 40 days, advanced mountaineering course 40 days, mountain labor course 50 days. These are some of the courses being conducted by Nepal Mountaineering Association annually in Nepal. Yes. And so the course was smoothly conducted from 1979 to 2018. But since after the start of the COVID, then the training course is also developed. Also postponed. So now we are trying to conduct the courses from this year also. So let us see what will happen. But these are the data which are of the trainings. So in the basic mountaineering course, up to in 2018, 1,349 people have been participated, and in mountaineering advanced mountaineering course there was about 421 participants. Mountain leader course 93. These are some of the data which have already participated in the mountaineering course of NMA. So these are some of the training activities in the basic mountaineering course and the advanced mountaineering course. I will just give you some highlights of the training activities. Yes. Next, please. Yes, that's it. This is the training part of the high mountain rescue training. How the people have to rescue if the rescue something happens on the mountains. So that demonstration is being done in the high mountain rescue training. Yes. And that is from the advanced mountaineering course. It is from the mountain guide course. So in this picture we can see that there are two people. One people is this training is trying to show that how to guide or how to lead trekking group in the mountaineering, and this portion is being watched by another guide from the other side, so that in order to see that whether the guide is leading the trekking group in a perfect way or not. That depends, and then he will give marks for him so that he can go further training. Yeah. And this is from mountain guide course. Yes. So the same course, yes, this is called Mountain Leaders course. And actually, this training is conducted has been conducted by Nepal Mountaineering Association since 2007. And this course is the mountain leader course is generally conducted for the people who would like to start their profession in the mountaineering field. And in this course, the trainees or the students are required to go not more than 50 or 100 meters. That is below the glacier level only. That training is normally conducted for the people who would like below the glacier level only, not in the mountain. Yes, this is the same training, winter component. Yeah. So this is the helicopter master course, and that is also being a simulation done how to rescue the mountain the trekkers or the mountaineers from the Everest region using the helicopter. That is also one of the major course. That is the simulation. One people is just lying, and another is trying to lift the injured people from the mountain region. Yes. And yes, this is our some of the extra, that is called climbing competition. And NMA, Nepal Mountaineering Association, has been also involved in conducting this type of the climbing competition in Nepal. And for this, then we are also the member of the International Federation of Sports Climbing and the Park Chung-suk Foundation of the Korea. We have been coordinating with this organization to conduct these type of sports climbing activities in Nepal and in different parts of Nepal also. Yeah. So these are some of the publications that is being published by the Nepal Mountaineering Association annually. Next, please. These also. So we also have a special publication that is called Nepal Parbat, which we use to publish on the special occasion only. So these are the publication. These are the historic publication, which since the number one is the Mount Everest, and this was published in 2003, and it has the different historic facts of the Nepal Mount of the Everest that was published on the 50th 50th Golden Jubilee celebration of the first ascent of Everest. That was on the Choyu it is Golden Jubilee special of Choyu. That was I think in 2005. Makalu and Kanchanjunga, Manaslu Lotse. So these publications are also very special to us and for all the mountaineering community in order to have information fact of the mountains. Yes, these publications are published in the 60 years of completion of the Everest, Choyu, Makalu, Kanchanjunga, Manaslu, Lotse. When the ascent was completed 60 years, then we celebrated the Diamond Jubilee celebration of the Everest, Choyu, Makalu, Kanchanjunga, and on these occasions we published these issues. So some of the other publication we published. Yes, next please. So Nepal Mountaineering Association is also involved with working with the different alpine clubs of the world, and in this part we conduct different type of joint expedition of different in different mountains of Nepal. So these are some of the joint expedition which we conducted in 2000 till 2010. This year also, now in next year we are going to also conduct with Nepal, China, another joint expedition in 2025 in order to mark the completion of the diplomatic relationship of 70 years. So we are going to conduct a new our joint expedition on a new peak of Nepal to mark this expedition. So in this way we also coordinate with different alpine clubs to conduct this type of joint expedition. For example, that is called Tri-Nation Expedition, China, Nepal, Japan on 1988. This is transverse expedition. So climbing from the Nepal and ascending from Nepal side and descending from the China side. This is one of the biggest historic mountaineering expedition being conducted in Nepal. Next please. So some of the welcome programs which I mentioned earlier. So next please. So this is the mountain festival, one of the major activities of Nepal Mountaineering Association. This festival was conducted on the occasion of International Mountain Day, and it is being conducted in International Mountain Museum, Pokhara. And the basic objective and the main objective of organizing this mountain festival is to create awareness about the mountain environment to the mountain community, or to the local people And this, next please. During this festival, we conduct different type of mountaineering activities like archery. This game is played in the mountain regions of Nepal. So we conduct this competition during the mountain festival. So this is called stone throwing competition. That in Nepali we call it chelo competition. This type of activities also do during the mountain festival in Pokhara. Yeah. And some of the stalls of that used to showcase or exhibits the different food items, different cultural dresses of the mountain people. So, as concerned to the international relations, Nepal Mountaineering Association is the active member of UIAA, the Union of International Alpine Association. That is the other major organization that Nepal Mountaineering Association is associated is a UWAA, that is called Union of Asian Alpine Association, and we are also member of the International Federation of Sports Climbing. And we are also the member of the Himalayan host countries. And in this Himalayan host countries, there are only four countries, that is Nepal, India, China, Pakistan. And the meeting of these, Nepal Mountaineering Association has been using the platform of these organizations, of these international organizations, to promote the mountain culture of Nepal, to promote the mountain tourism of Nepal globally. So the participation of the participation of our Nepal Mountaineering in this organization is also holds also very special importance for the Nepal. Yes, next please. And as I mentioned earlier, Nepal Mountaineering Association has successfully completed and successfully organized the first ascent of the Everest, Choyu, Makalu, Kanchenjunga, Manaslu, Lhotse, in different years. For example, on 29 May 2003, we organized the Mount Everest Golden Jubilee celebration, and 17th October 2004 we organized Mount Choyu Golden Jubilee celebration. In the same year, we organized Diamond Jubilee, so 60 years of the completion of these mountains. So these programs are also very important for the Nepal Mountaineering Association, since most of in this Diamond Jubilee or the Golden Jubilee programs, we invite Everest summiters, Choyu summiters from the summiters of the respective mountains from different parts of the world in Nepal to participate in the program. And it also can, due to which the Nepal, which plays a active role in promoting the Nepal's mountain tourism globally. So these are some of the brief introduction of Nepal Mountaineering Association. As it concerned to the before climbing, before conducting any kind of So can you please put off the screen? Then I will show you another screen.
Yeah, for sure.
I will share another screen. I will share another one.
Okay, great.
Ya, Dr. Angie.
Belum selesai, Dok. Ini mau sekarang aja?
Oh, belum. Ya udah, biar aja selesaikan dulu aja.
Iya, beliau masih ada satu slide lagi.
Dibantu aja karena pakai ini.
Udah.
Oke.
Okay.
So now I would like to share information about climbing activities in Nepal. So before we climbing any mountains in Nepal, you need to have permit. The Nepal Mountaineering, the government of Nepal has made compulsory to have permit to climb mountains from the height starting from 5,800 meter. To the highest mountain, that is Everest. So in order to climb any mountain in Nepal, which is the height of 5,800 meter to 8,800 meter, then you need to have permit from the government of Nepal. And in order to have permit, you need to contact a authorized trekking company. that should be registered at the government of Nepal and the Nepal Mountaineering Association. Then only you can have permit. Without any trekking company, it is not possible to have permit in Nepal. And that trekking company will, on behalf of the expedition group in Nepal, to have permission from the government. And for during the permit, then I have put the slide of the royalty rate that is started from that is the new royalty that is effective from 1st Jan 2015. For average, we have different royalty rate for different seasons. For spring season, for average during spring season, you need to pay 11,000 per person. In autumn, 5,500, and in winter, 2,750. And from in average outer routes, then $10,000, 5,000 in autumn and winter and spring. So and the height of the royalty rate of the mountains it depends upon the height. So other mountains more than 8,000 meters, then you need to pay 1,800 in spring season, in 900 in the autumn season, and 450 in the winter season. So the 700, so this 700 to 7,500 meters, then spring season 500, autumn season 250, and winter season 125. So in this way, this royalty has been imposed since 2015. And this is the one of the other major factor in order to climb mountains in Nepal. You need to deposit garbage deposit in the government account in order to have permit. Until and unless you deposit the royalty fee and the garbage deposit in the government account, it is not possible to issue permit. That garbage deposit is refundable after climbing after climbing mountains. Then after following the certain procedures which shows that the garbage which produced during the mountaineering has been managed environment friendly, then only this garbage deposit is refunded. And for that also, it is the amount of the garbage deposit also depends upon the height of the mountains. For example, for the Mount Everest, there is $4,000, and for the other mountains having the height of above 8,000 meters, to accept Mount Everest, that is $3,000, and for mountains above 7,000 to 1,000 meters, then that is about $2,000. So, and for the mountains below of the other mountains, for the other mountains, the height of more than 8,000 meters, $3,000. So these are the amount of garbage deposit also depends upon the height of the mountain. As concerned to the Nepal Mountaineering Association, I have mentioned earlier that we are managing 27 mountains. That is the heights of the mountains that NMA manages is say 5,800 to 6,500 meters. And at Nepal Mountaineering Association also you need to pay the royalty fee. The royalty fee is same as this one, depends upon the height. But for the garbage deposit at Nepal Mountaineering Association, you need to deposit $500. That it is refundable. So these are the after completing the climate, after completing the climate expeditions, then following the certain procedures, the garbage deposit refundable, and all these things, then the government of Nepal issues the certificate of the successful climbing. That also depends upon the certificate of the recommendation of the liaison officer. If the certificate is issued on the recommendation of the liaison officer and the photograph which you took at the summit of the mountains. During while taking photographs at the summit, you need to be very aware that the photos give the clear picture of the surrounding area, which shows that you have successfully climbed the Everest, successfully climbed any mountains in Nepal. And as concerned to the other mountains of Nepal, which doesn't need a liaison officer, that is below 6,500 meters. In that case, then you need to have photographs which clearly shows that you have successfully climbed that mountains, and also you need to have the recommendation of the guide of the group. So that on this basis, the Nepal Mountaineering Association issues climbing certificate. So, and during the conversation that earlier, which I received the question in the question box regarding the mandatory regarding the requirement of the guide to trek or to climb many mountains in Nepal, it is compulsory. It is being made mandatory by the government of Nepal to have guide while going to any parts of Nepal in the restricted or semi-restricted in the open district. This is some of the expedition group or some of the tourists just get a team's card and go to the Annapurna area or Everest region on their own risk. If something happens to them, it is quite possible to track what happens to them, and without guide or without any trekking company, if something happens to them, then it is not possible for government of Nepal to make liable which company or which person it is responsible. So this is the reason that it has been made compulsory. And another fact, the requirement of guide is made mandatory in order to create employment, in order to create job to the local level, because most of the guide or most of the human resources while we use during the trekking or the mountaineering are the local people, and if we don't use the guide in our expedition, then it is not, then at that condition, in that condition, these people also may not have a job to do that. This is the main reason that the government of Nepal has made mandatory to have guide in order to go any parts of Nepal in parts of Nepal, means while mountaineering or while trekking. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Jinesh, thank you very much for your presentation. It's really comprehensive. But before moving forward to the next session, which is the discussion session, I'd like to relay a thank you message from Federasi Mountaineering Indonesia, or FME, and also from Indonesia itself for the help that was given by NMA for one of our climbers who unfortunately just passed away on the Everest Base Camp track. So thank you very much, Mr. Jinesh, for the help.
Yes.
It really meant so much for us. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, madam, for giving me an opportunity to mention some of the rules and some of the activities of Nepal Mountaineering Association in this presentation. Is there any question? Floor open session now, or what to do?
Yeah. Now we are going to move forward to the discussion session. But before that, we've got Dr. Iqbal as the head of Occupational Health and Safety Division of FME.
Okay.
So Dr. Iqbal, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Namaste for Mr. James.
No, thank you. Namaste.
Yeah, let me introduce myself, Mr. My name is Iqbal. I'm head of division in the health and safety in Federasi Mountaineering Indonesia. And just information for you, in this forum we have an Everest alumni. Name is Martin Rimbawan. This forum.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a member of Federasi Mountaineering Indonesia. And so I'm interested with your program about the Manang Mountaineering School. And so maybe Federasi Mountaineering Indonesia can collaborate with the Manang Mountaineering School. And then my question is about how long is the education period at Manang Mountaineering School?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, I mean, how long education period at Manang Mountaineering School? How long is the education period?
So the Manang Mountaineering Association was officially opened in 1979. So since then, we have been organizing basic mountaineering course in Manang region. In Manang region, we only organize basic mountaineering course, and for the advanced training course, we go to the Langtang region, because for the advanced course we need to go a little bit higher. That due to this region, we go to the Langtang region for the Manang advanced mountaineering course, and for the basic mountaineering course that we used to do in the Manang, and that started from the 1978.
Okay. So how about the study? How long study in the Manang Mountaineering School? I mean, like 7 day or 2 week for the join to the course in the Manang Mountaineering School.
Actually the course is as I have shown in the presentation, that in the basic mountaineering course, we used to have about 10 days course in the Kathmandu, about theoretical course. Then the remaining remaining course about 20 to 25 days. Then we go to the Manang. And in the Manang also, in the Manang school also, there will be course for just 5 to 10 days. And for the remaining, we go to the glacier, in the Gangapuna glacier. So much more higher than the Manang.
Yeah.
So about 20 days, let us say, in the Manang area.
Okay. So yeah, I think we must memorandum of understanding FME with the Nepal Mountaineering Association. Correct?
Yes, most welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jinesh. Namaste.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you also for Dr. Iqbal. So, Mr. Jinesh, you
Yes.
know, given the fact that Indonesia is such a large country, and it's a tropical country rich in volcanic mountains and other kind of mountains, such as Rinjani in Lombok, Semeru in Malang, Cartens Parame in Papua, and so on. And the majority of its youth enjoy adventurous activities such as mountain climbing, and many of them have a dream to climb Mountain Nepal, actually. With this, it is an honor to have you, Mr. Jinesh, in our webinar today. So now, after knowing more on the regulation update of Himalayan mountain climbing, and also after knowing more on NMA, it's time to have a discussion with you. And apparently, there are some points of discussion made by FME itself.
Okay.
So first of all is considering the large number of Indonesians who come to Nepal for climbing. So is there any possibility of NMA establishing a memorandum of understanding for cooperation with the FMI? So is it possible, sir?
So yeah, so Nepal, it is quite possible for Nepal Mountaineering Association to sign a memorandum of understanding with the FME, since Nepal Mountaineering Association has already signed this type of the MOUs or agreements with the Korean Alpine Federations, CTMA, IMAF, and Japan Alpine Club. And so many alpine clubs that we have been coordinating for the development of mountain tourism in Nepal. So it will be, we will be quite happy to sign an agreement with FME in order to attract more Indonesians to Nepalese mountains.
That's a really great thing to hear. Thank you very much, Mr. Jinesh. So perhaps after this, going to have a follow-up actions on that.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, so and second point of discussion is that we think FME think that there is a need for continued communications and also cooperations between FME and also NMA to inform each other about the new regulations, you know, looking at the fact that so many Indonesian mountain climbers go to Nepal to climb its mountain. So we do really hope that the cooperation between us is going to last for a long time.
Definitely. In the memorandum of understanding, in the agreement also we can mention that that both parties can exchange information about the regulation that is being changed, because the regulation sometimes government changes the regulation as per the recommendation or suggestions from different climbers. So at that time, then it will be quite easy if we mention these responsibilities in our MOU to exchange the information, what regulations are being updated. That's so that the Indonesian climbers we may not face any kind of difficulty or problem in order to have permit or during climbing.
Right, yeah, for sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Jinesh.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Q&A session. But then again, due to the time limitation, we are going to select, well, perhaps first 3 to 5 questions first for our speaker. Yeah. Thank you very much. So let us see the questions from the participants who have raised their hands. So does anyone has a question on Mr. Jinesh, or else I'm just going to move to the chat box, and then because we've got already so many questions there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think let's just move to the chat box. First of all, there is a question from Ayu and Suya. So it is a question about tracking regulation. So we all know that Nepal Tourism Board, or NTB, have regulated foreigners, and the regulation says that they are not allowed trekking alone. And this rules was on from 1st April 2023. But then again, in the reality, there are still so many solo trackers. So the question is, how can NTB manage this reality, and how the officers in the field are strict about these rules?
Yeah, yes. We have been facing this type of problems, but the management of the management the management of the guide, which is made being mandatory, it is for not for Nepal only. It is for the tourists also. As I mentioned in the presentation, there must be someone who is liable, either trekking company or the guide. Then only if something happens to the tourist, then it is easier for us to track. Because yes, we as some of most of the tourists also go to the tourism board, just buy the team's card and go to the trekking area. But there is another news that we have been receiving, that if there are so lots of complaints being lodged at the Nepal police. So about the losing their some valuable property, or sometime of the misbehavior by the local lodges or the hotels. So there are lots of complaints in the Nepal police also. And so sometimes if they miss the track, or they miss the trekking route during the trekking or the mountaineering, then at that time, because it can be a big problem for them, because they normally follow the Google map, but sometimes Google map also gives the sometimes false information. So at that time, if they lost their track, then who will help them to rescue from that area? There is no one. The tourist knows no one in Nepal. They directly try to contact the embassy. If the embassy of the respective countries in Nepal, then it is easier for to track. But some of the countries don't have embassy in Nepal. So, and in that case, what will happen? So I strongly suggest them to hire a guide. It is not for only Nepal, it is for the tourists also. And another fact we should think that the mandatory the condition being mandatory to use guide in the trekking is to create employment in the local level, because we used to hire guide from the local people, from the local area. And if the trekkers, or if the tourists go to the trekking regions on their own, then it can be the problem of the employment also. So therefore, I strongly suggest, yes, some of the tourists take risk without hiring a guide. They go to the mountain or the trekking region, but it can be big problem for them if something happens to them. If everything goes smoothly, then there is no problem. Then if something happens, then it can be good. It can be very bad experience for them too also.
I see. So perhaps the key point is that raising the awareness of safety issues and its
Yes.
solutions in Nepal,
Nepal.
either for the tracker or any tourists that come
Yes.
to Nepal.
Nepal, yeah.
And then perhaps the quickest solution is that if you go alone, just hire a tour guide.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah. Because
Okay, very well noted.
because of the high altitude sickness also, if while ascending in the mountain or the trekking region, while ascending it will be okay, but in the night it can be a big problem for them. So, and if we hire a proper trekking company or proper guide, then there may be some type of the rescue or some of the emergency service for them also. So it is for their life also, because it is the life is very precious for things for us, not the money only. So because 2-3 reasons that we should consider before going to the trekking or mountain region of Nepal without guide.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, Mr. Jinesh, thank you for the answer. I'll just translate your answer to the participants so that it's just going to be clear for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, ya, Mbak Ayu dan Mas Surya tadi pertanyaannya telah dijawab ya oleh Pak Jinesh. Jadi kurang lebih intinya adalah cara yang paling simpel sebenarnya memang karena reality akan selalu menjadi reality dan tidak selamanya reality sesuai dengan policy yang ada. Jadi kalau kata Pak Jinesh memang the easiest way, the easiest solution is that raising the awareness dari self safety, including safety issue yang ada di Nepal karena kasusnya juga banyak. Terus solutionnya juga gimana dan kata beliau solusi yang paling gampang adalah just hire a local tour guide. Apapun itu judulnya mau tracker, mau tourist, karena emang safety issue itu jadi highlight ya di Nepal. Kurang lebih seperti itu. Semoga cukup menjawab. So let's move on to the next question. I think I saw a raised hand before here. Tadi ada yang ingin bertanya, ada yang raising hand tadi? Ada yang masih ingin bertanya, buka mic-nya? Or else I'm just going to move to the chat box again. Okay, so the next question is from Lingkar Bumi, Mas Sulung, Bapak Sulung. So an adventure and environment media okay. So the question is that how to test the eligibility of climbers who are going to climb in the Himalayas. And that is the first question from Mr. Sulung. And then the second question is, actually he had write about 1,000 kilos of trash just in Everest. So how the progress to clean it up now?
Yeah.
In
So
Everest. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. So in our context, normally the government of Nepal issues permit to the people or the person who is 18 years old or above. Below 18 years, we don't issue climbing permits. So I'm talking of climbing permits, okay, not for trekking. For climbing permits, you need to be 18 or above. So this is the basic mandatory you need to have to climb any mountains in Nepal. And for the medical test, that is some of the mountaineers come to Nepal doing their medical test there in their own country before going to the mountains. And in Nepal also, if there is any type of confusion about regarding your health while before going to the mountains or the trekking, then there are lots of the medical institute in Kathmandu also who specially work in the alpinism sector, in the mountain sector or the trekking sector. They can also suggest you whether you are eligible to climb the mountains or not. And some of the association also conduct the medical campaigns in the Everest region, in the Manang regions. So if there is any if there is any kind of problem to them during the mountaineering or the trekking, they can directly go to the clinic in the mountain region and check whether they are eligible to climb more or not. So this is the basic things that before we start climbing, and it is morally dependent on the mountaineers whether to express that whether he is eligible or whether to express that he is mentally and physically fit to climb mountains or not. But while going to the records of the Everest, so it is there are lots of records being made who are physically not eligible, but they climb Everest sometimes. Who are not who are the handicapped people and visually impaired people are also climbing the mountains of Nepal. So it is not we cannot say that the physical condition is not only the solution, is only the problem that will stop us to climb mountains. The major thing is we should be mentally fit. And another thing that the concern about the garbage in the Everest season. Yes, this is the major problem that the Everest season has been facing. Earlier, after the start of the mountain region, after the start of the Everest expedition in 1953, then the tourism activities increase, when the economic condition of the Khumbu region also becomes very much higher, the people become rich. But the major concept or the major difficulty they are facing is about the garbage produced by the mountaineering and the trekking sector. How to manage them properly. So there are lots of going research or going projects running in the Khumbu region, how to manage this garbage. So I have been working with some of the NGOs or some of the organization which manages this garbage. So before some of the garbage which are burnable or which are burnable, they used to burn in the Khumbu region, and which are non-burnable, they used to send the Kathmandu. And some of the garbage that the garbage produced from the lodges or the human settlement or from the kitchen, they used to bury them in the land, so that they can be used at the compost as a fertilizer for the farming. And some of the the peels of the vegetables, they can be used to feed the animals also. But the major problem is that how to manage this garbage, because the number of tourists increases, but that the number of tourists also produce the garbage and wastage which need to be managed properly. And there are lots of as I mentioned, there are lots of studies or the projects being conducted in Khumbu region, that how to manage these garbages. And there's some of the areas, they have also established the recycle center. So the garbage which are not possible to burn, or which are not possible to bring to the Kathmandu, they use these type of garbage in order to recycle them and produce a souvenir shop in order to produce a souvenir goods, which can be the good which is becoming the good option in order to manage garbage in the mountain region.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Jinesh. Mr. Jinesh, it's a follow-up questions actually about the eligibility test for the trekkers. So you mentioned it before that there are some eligibility tests, and one of them is the health test, and it's not just about physical tests, it's also about mental tests. Is that true?
Yes. No, mental. No, it's not mental. We should.
Oh,
I mean
just
to say
physical.
that physical test, and we should be mentally fit. Mentally fit. I mean to say, not
I
mental
see,
test.
I see. Okay.
We
So
should be physically and mentally fit. I mean to say.
great points. Okay, then. So about this physical health check. So do we need to take the test in Nepal, or can we just do it in Indonesia, for example, and then
you
bring
can do
the
it.
test result?
You can do in your country also. It is not mandatory. It's not mandatory that you should do in Nepal only. You can do in your own country also.
Great points then.
For the trekking, there is no age mandatory. For the trekking, there is no age mandatory. I mentioned for only mountaineering that you should be above 18 or above 18 to climb any mountains in Nepal.
Okay. How is the range of age again?
18 or above 18. 18 years. 18. You should be 18 years old or above.
Okay. 18 and above then.
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Jinesh, thank you for the answer. That is such a detailed answer. I'm just going to translate them into Indonesian for the participants.
Okay.
Ya. Bapak, Ibu, Mas, Mbak, Abang sekalian, tadi ada pertanyaan diantaranya adalah tentang eligibility test atau tes kelayakan ya. Diantaranya untuk mountain climbers atau trekkers. Jadi diantaranya tadi Mr. Jinesh menyebutkan bahwa yang penting itu adalah pemeriksaan kesehatan fisikal tapinya, dan Mr. Jinesh bilang kalau pemeriksaan kesehatan bisa dilakukan di mana aja. Yang penting adalah kita harus yakin benar bahwa kita physically dan mentally fit untuk naik gitu. Dan terutama itu kalau nggak salah tadi persyaratannya untuk yang umurnya 18 tahun sama dengan dan lebih dari 18 tahun. Untuk yang mountaineering ya. Dan itu kayaknya bisa menjawab juga pertanyaan dari Mas Faisal ya, pertanyaannya kurang lebih sama. Apakah cukup menjawab Mbak Ayu, Mas Surya, Bang Faisal. Kalau sudah, kita move on ke pertanyaan selanjutnya karena masih banyak pertanyaannya. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next question. It's a question from Lydia. So Lydia said that it's such a good regulation in implementing garbage deposit for whoever climbs mountains in Nepal. So Mr. Jinesh, my question is, how the NMA determines the amount of deposits, and is the amount of garbage deposit depends on the amount of potential garbage brought by the climbers, or it is a flat amount that depends on the height of the mountain only?
No, it's the flat amount. It doesn't depend on the quantity of the garbage. It's the flat rate $500. And after the completion of the expeditions, then you will have a recommendation letter from the local government or from some of the NGOs which we have designated to to manage this garbage. Upon the recommendation letter, then the trekking company will come to Nepal Mountaineering Association for the refund of the garbage deposit, and that amount is flat for Nepal Mountaineering Association only. And in the case of the Department of Tourism, that amount depends upon the height of the mountains. It does not concern or relate with the quantity of the garbage. It depends upon the height of the mountains only.
Right, okay. So I see that there are lots of stakeholders
Yes.
collaborating in terms
Yes,
of
yes.
garbage management in Nepal. That is
Yeah.
such a great thing to hear. And I think Indonesia really need to learn from you.
Yeah, and for the in the Khumbu in the Everest region, there is an organization named called Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee. That all the expedition or the climbing groups after their expedition go to the office and hand over their garbage to the SPCC, and they issue a recommendation letter to the group, and that recommendation letter has to be submitted at the Nepal Mountaineering Association to get the refund amount. And the garbage which are collected by the SPCC, then they segregate that whether that is vulnerable or non-vulnerable, whether they can be managed in the Khumbu region, or they need to return to the Kathmandu. And then this type of some of the criteria that SPCC will follow, and some of the garbage like the battery sale of the mobiles and cameras, that should be brought to the your home country. You should not leave these things in Nepal. This is the regulation.
Yeah. So I think it's very important then to
Yeah.
really look at the regulation, not
Yes,
just
yeah.
the regulation of how we climb the mountain,
Yeah.
our safety issue, not just about that, but also the regulation of the garbage management.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Jinesh, thank you very much for your answer. I'll just translate a bit of it in Indonesia.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Ya, Mbak Lydia tadi semoga pertanyaannya telah terjawabkan ya. Dan juga teman-teman lainnya kayaknya memang pembahasan tentang garbage management ini cukup banyak ya karena jadi concern juga baik di Indonesia maupun di Nepal. Tadi Pak Jinesh sudah menjawab ya bahwa untuk takarannya itu dia flat gitu ya. Dan juga melibatkan banyak stakeholders baik dari government, dari NGO, DLL gitu. Jadi semoga jawabannya menerangkan Mbak Lydia. Apakah ada yang ditanyakan lagi dari Mbak Lydia, or is it enough? Okay. Oh, so actually, Mr. Jinesh, there is a follow-up questions from the previous participants who questioned you. Yeah. The following questions is regarding the garbage deposit. How the NMA verification procedure before returning the garbage deposit for the climbers?
For the clients, yes, as I mentioned earlier that you need to have a trekking company before going to climb any mountains in Nepal. So after climbing, then that trekking company will manage a guide or required manpower for your expedition group. So after climbing after the expedition, then you will have that garbage deposit receipt slip from the SPCC. In the Khumbu region, then there is Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee, that is called SPCC, or in any other regions, then the local government also issues that receipt. So that receipt you need to give to the trekking company, and trekking company will come to Nepal Mountaineering Association to take the garbage deposit refund. So this is the process. All the procedures is to be followed or done by the trekking company.
Okay, Mr. Jinesh, thank you very much for your answer. Mbak Lydia, I hope this answering your question. So unfortunately, this is at the end of our session with Mr. Jinesh. Mr. Jinesh, thank you again. Thank you very much for your time, for sharing your insights to us. So
thank you, madam. If there is a please, please. If there is anything that I leave or then any more question to be answered from my side, you can just mail me also, so that I can answer the questions through the email also. It is also possible, because it is just 1 hour, so it is not possible to address all the questions right now. So we can you can just email me if there is any type of confusion regarding the policies, regarding the regulations of Nepal, of the government of Nepal or the Nepal Mountaineering Association. Then I am always ready to give you my feedback, my answers to your questions.
Right, that's just fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Jinesh. I'll just relay your message to the participants in Bahasa Indonesia.
Yes, thank you.
Ya, Bapak Ibu sekalian, jadi waktunya terbatas, jadi Q&A session untuk Mr. Jinesh kita cukupkan sampai di sini saja. Tapi Mr. Jinesh baru saja bilang kalau ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan lanjutan dari Bapak Ibu, silahkan mengirim email ke beliau. And I think our team has already got your address, isn't it, Mr. Jinesh?
Yes. Yeah, I think you have my email address.
Ya, oke then. Ya, kami tim FB sudah memiliki email Dr. Jinesh, nanti akan kami share di grup WhatsApp. Bisa di follow up questions-nya di situ. Maksudnya bisa dikirim emailnya ke Mr. Jinesh. So, Mr. Jinesh, thank you very much. And this is an e-certificate for you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much for your participation today.
You are going to send me that certificate through email also?
Pardon?
Are you going to send me this certificate through email also?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And it is my great pleasure to share some of my thoughts in this webinar, in this session. So thank you very much for giving us opportunity to share some information of Nepal Mountaineering Association, some information about the mountains of Nepal. I hope I have answered, or I have given you the satisfied answer. And if there is anything from my side to answer or to give you more information, so please, I think you have my email address. So you just write down me the questions, then I will reply you on the same email address. Thank you very much.
We all take picture.
Thank you for you too.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a photo session first with you and the e-certificate here?
Okay, sure.
Okay, great. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Great. Have we got the picture, Kakak Admin? Okay, great. Mr. Jinesh, thank you very much for your time. Hope to see you either face-to-face or online soon. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Namaste. Yeah.